A very redundant day for the president today. We've been reporting all week about the troop pullout in Afghanistan. CENTCOM saying we're already about 90% out of that country. The plan has been in place for months, but the Biden White House decided to hold a news conference to remind the country of all this. Perhaps they see it as good politics, assuming it's a generally positive move that most people support, and that's likely the truth. But it's also a very tricky decision. It's a very tricky situation, and with any tricky decision comes tough questions. And we all know that the president does not like tough questions.
Do you trust the Taliban, sir?
Is that a serious question?
It's absolutely a serious question. Do you trust the Taliban?
No, I do not.
Why you don't trust the Taliban?
It's a silly question. Do I trust the Taliban? No. But I trust the capacity of the Afghan military, who is better trained, better equipped, and more competent in terms of conducting war.
You might be the only one that trusts the Afghan military, and I'm glad he's feeling confident. Nobody else seems to be. The Taliban have been showing off their new arsenal all week. We just talked about this 48 hours ago on this show. A Taliban commander said the group had taken 70 sniper rifles, 900 guns, and 65 vehicles, including Humvees, from the Afghans. They're ransacking the country. There are reports of Afghan security forces who no longer have American troops to protect and support them, fleeing to surrounding countries, fearing retaliation. The Taliban is quickly taking control of areas the United States and the Afghan government had control of, and it seems like it was quite predictable.
Your own intelligence community has assessed that the Afghan government will likely collapse.
That is not true. The Afghan government and leadership has to come together. They clearly have the capacity to sustain the government in place. The question is, will they generate the kind of cohesion to do it?
That should fill you with confidence. It appears even the media realizes this is going to devolve quickly. And again, that's not Biden's fault. It's still clearly the right move to get out of Afghanistan. The only other option is an American presence in that country until the end of time.
We did not go to Afghanistan to nation build. And it's the right and the responsibility of the Afghan people alone to decide their future and how they want to run their country.
He's right. We'll be straight with you here. He's right. It's a lesson we've learned time and time again all over the world. We cannot remake other countries in our own image. But let's move much closer to home and look at another pending disaster, the Caribbean island of Haiti. You no doubt heard the nation's president was just assassinated, which is wild enough as it is. His wife also shot, airlifted to a Miami hospital for treatment. She is critical but stable. Associated Press reports a U.S. citizen, possibly two, among 6 suspects arrested in the president's killing. The already troubled nation, which has always been troubled, sliding deeper into chaos and lawlessness. And it was chaotic before this happened yesterday. President Biden releasing this statement earlier today: "We stand ready to assist as we continue to work for a safe and secure Haiti." We'll get more into what Joe Biden really thinks about Haiti here in just a minute. But the story of Haiti is one of tragedy. Once a promising young nation, a beautiful place, the only success story of slaves who liberated themselves from their colonial rulers just to be coerced back into what was essentially debt slavery. In order to acknowledge their independence, the French, backed with 500 cannons, showed up in Haiti years ago. They demanded the sum of 150 million francs. The total was more than 10 times Haiti's annual budget. The loans were not completely paid off until 1947. Took over 100 years. But even after all of that happened, after the debt was gone, hardly any progress was ever made on this island, an impoverished nation, a chronically corrupt government, like so many others around the world. I actually went to Haiti in 2010 after that magnitude 7.0 earthquake annihilated that island. These are my pictures here. This is what it looked like. 300,000 people were killed in an earthquake. Bodies everywhere. That's the presidential palace in Haiti. Even that was destroyed. That was everywhere, and bodies were everywhere. The world at that time saw a tragedy strike an already miserable nation, and of course everybody wanted to help. Do you remember what it was like? I mean, there were planes coming in from all over the world. They couldn't even land in Port-au-Prince. So much aid was coming in, they couldn't even handle it. As the saying goes, though, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. The New York Times reporting, foreign aid seems only to have helped perpetuate some of the country's biggest troubles. Only perpetuates some of their biggest troubles. Free money. Think about that. They call Haiti an aid state, a country that really exists through only their reliance on assistance from the international community. That means without everybody else like us propping them up, Haiti falls apart. That article from the New York Times continues. It bets that every time the situation worsens, international governments will open their coffers. And that's what's been happening. Billions in aid, free money, has poured into Haiti for the past 11 years, since the quake, destroying any incentive for government there to get its act together. It's one thing to send the Red Cross following a natural disaster, but sending billions of dollars over the course of a decade is clearly a loser. Free money ruins everything. That's true everywhere, even right here at home, as evidenced right now by the fact businesses can't find people to work. Welfare begats more welfare. Liberals consistently preside over an expansion in the welfare rules. They can't wait to figure out ways to give people more free money in this country. Republicans come back and cut the benefits, and magically, when Republicans are in power, less people need welfare. And we all know why. You take it away, people got to figure it out, and they start working again. But back to Haiti, and let's go back in time to another classic moment from our president.
If Haiti, a god-awful thing to say, if Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet, it wouldn't matter a whole lot in terms of our interest.
Oh, there's the real Joe Biden. He returns yet again, talking about Haiti and how they don't matter at all. Today, the White House tried to spin that old soundbite.
The fact that he is now sitting as president of the United States. He issued a statement in his voice yesterday about the horrific killing of the president, and he's made clear to the administration officials that we stand ready to assist in any way they need, whether it's in the investigation or other federal assistance we can offer from here.
All right, in his voice, she said there. We'll see how this administration deals with this situation in Haiti. If I had to bet, I'd expect your tax dollars to be shoveled across the Caribbean once again, just like it has been for decades. It'll be squandered or stolen by those in power in that country.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.